Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Tuesday, October 29, 2024. Stand up for your country. Well, a lot of people are queasy with the election a week away. Not me. I'm hanging tough. I believe, as I said, based on the data that we have, that Donald Trump will win, but that's not a lock. Thursday, Halloween, I'll make my prediction, which is appropriate. Things change, and I'm going to tell you about something that changed over the weekend that you might find interesting. The big question right now is, will Americans vote demeanor again? So as we all know, Joe Biden wasn't elected because Joe Biden was so great. He wasn't Trump. And the exit polling proved that in 2020. People were voting against Trump. Will that happen again? Some will. But because Biden has been such a disaster for the country, and by extension, Kamala Harris, you have that in play, which you didn't have 4 weeks ago, 4 years ago, I should say. Okay? Because Biden was vice president and under Obama, didn't have a real high profile, but he was a name. He had been around, perceived as moderate. Of course, Joe Biden has no beliefs, so when the progressives got hold of power, he did exactly what they told him to do. Anyway, the subject of the talking points memo this evening is what is really at stake next Tuesday. It's not about Trump versus Harris in a historical context. And this is what Americans don't understand. I think 80% of them don't understand it. You might, because you listen to me and watch me, and we have been hammering this. But this election is about ideology, a vision for the country between the progressive movement and the traditional movement. So Trump is a traditionalist. May not like him, may disagree with some of the things he's done, but that's the category in which he fits. Traditional. Doesn't want vast changes to our society. Harris is a machine California politician, which means she's a Democrat, but most of all, it means she's an uber liberal, a progressive, and has never deviated out of that, ever, one time. And all you have to do is look at 2019, when she was selected the most liberal senator out of 100 by a political analysis group, and signed on to Bernie Sanders' socialized medicine bill. Co-sponsored it. Believe me, there is no doubt of where Kamala Harris is on the political spectrum, although she denies it now because you can't run on that. All right, so let's prove my point. If Kamala Harris wins and both houses were to go to the Democrats, this is what would happen to this country. All right. Number one, amnesty for all undocumented aliens who have not committed a felony. All of them. So we'd have 15 million new citizens. Amnesty. Reparations for slavery. That would cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Money would be given to African Americans who had ancestors in the slave situation. Okay? I don't know how that would ever happen. Logistically, it would be a nightmare to try to trace all that back, but that's what Kamala Harris wants. You don't believe me? Listen to this. Go.
President, you would be willing to lead a conversation on what reparations for Black people would look like?
Yeah, including things like what we should be doing to take very seriously undiagnosed and untreated trauma. Take that very seriously.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, 3, allowing the government to undermine parental authority from coast to coast in abortion and gender matters involving their minor children. So there would be federal laws passed that say, hey, if your kid wants to transition from a male to a female, you can't stop it. If your daughter wants to have an abortion, you won't even know about it. that girl can get an abortion with no parental notification. That's what Kamala Harris supports. And I'm not even going to get into the taxpayer money that would pay for the gender operations of convicts, of migrants. No restraint. Remember, there's no restraint on abortion for Kamala Harris. None. And she brings that same mentality over to the gender transition. Okay. Severe restrictions on firearms. What does that mean? It means there'll be new federal laws making it very, very difficult for an American citizen to carry a firearm. I'm not, the AKs and the heavy rifles will probably be banned, but the real serious thing is that they would stack up, the federal government would stack up laws that make it very difficult for you to carry, okay? I don't think they could seize the guns from your home. They couldn't do that under the Second Amendment. It get real difficult for you to transport the firearms anywhere. Onerous taxation on the affluent and corporations, fair share. We all know that. That's a hallmark of Kamala Harris's presentation. And of course, all that money would be passed down to consumers, raising prices even higher. But more threatening is that in order to fund all of the entitlements Kamala Harris wants to give people, she would have to tax wealth. So if you had a paper gain of stocks or bonds or gold or heirlooms, anything, the government would assess that and then tax you on it. And if it went down the next year, so you have this gain in 2025, but in 2026 go down, you don't get a refund. They just assess it again. And every year you'd have to pay. That's outright socialism, close to communism. It's a seizure of private assets. Okay. A government economy that mandates green spending and strategies. So I asked my staff to total up all the green spending by the Biden administration. There is no figure. But according to earthjustice.org, $34 billion has been spent on solar projects and another $11 billion on wind projects. So we're up to $45 billion just on those two things, government spending. I'm talking about the government would order corporations, okay, to do X. You'd have to do it. And it will all be under the green thing, the global warming thing. All right. A reimagining of criminal punishment in the federal system. Prison sentences would be reduced dramatically because that's where the left lives. That's why we have so much social disorder in the major cities now. Imposed equity, where the federal government would provide entitlements to selected groups. The best example of this is the $25,000 giveaway that Harris is touting to first-time homebuyers. Okay, so that's a massive expenditure, and it's unconstitutional because it's a selected group getting I'm not going to get it, but my tax dollars has to go to them. Who do you think pays for all this stuff? We, the working people in America, pay for it. All right? That's equity. So the certain groups are going to get money, but others aren't. That's not equal justice under the law. All right? It's not. And, you know, all of this stuff will be challenged, but this is what they want, the progressives want. Strict limits on speech. This is very interesting. So in Sweden, they have a law that prohibits hate speech. What's hate speech in Sweden? Statements that threaten or express disrespect for ethnic groups or similar groups regarding race, skin color, nationality, ethnic origin, faith, sexual orientation. So if you criticize somebody, show them disrespect, you could be criminally prosecuted. In Sweden, you can get up to 4 years in prison. It's what the progressives want. So I would be doing life right now. And I criticize everybody. Okay, I don't care about race or creed or religion. And you're doing something that hurts the folks, I'm coming after you. But under what the progressives want, I'd be muzzled, so would every other analyst that's not a progressive. And finally, weaponization of the Justice Department and IRS. Under the Biden administration, 87,000 new IRS employees have been approved. That means the money is set aside to pay them. Well, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to be auditing people all over the place, people they don't like. They don't like a group, they'll get audited. And the Justice Department, we've seen it time and time again, Trump being the best case, most vivid case, will break you. Okay, we'll break you. Donald Trump would be broken if he didn't have the political action committees picking up his lawyer bills. So they can come in, any American, and they can charge you, and you have to pay all the lawyers to break you. That's not hard. It's easy for them to do. It's what the progressives have been doing. So all of those things, and they're on BillO'Reilly.com. I have them if you want to download that. They're just listed there. And you can read them and weep, pass them along. That's what this vote is about, the progressive vision. Now, you can nitpick Donald Trump. I mean, look, he's mad at me now because I cover him fairly. And everything he does isn't great. Sometimes he does things that aren't great, that hurt him and the country. I thought that pet thing in Springfield, Ohio was absurd because this is a very serious issue. Why do you want to obscure it and give your enemies all that ammo against you when the overarching issue is there shouldn't be 60,000 Haitians dropped into a small town in Ohio? That's insane. We don't need dogs and cats. So you can quibble with Trump, and you should. Every politician has strengths and weaknesses, but his vision is basically what he did the first 4 years. And he did a pretty darn good job. If you read my essay in Confronting the Presidents, it's a historical essay, not political. Here's what he did. And I expect he would duplicate much of that if he were reelected next week. He's not a fascist. I'm not worried about him sending soldiers to people's houses. That's insane. It would never happen. Here's a guy that alerted the Pentagon on January 5th, there might be trouble. Get the National Guard ready. What? And now, well, I'm not even going to bother with that. You got it. Progressive, dramatic change. Central government so powerful that no individual rights will be respected if they don't want those rights. You'll be overwhelmed. I'll be overwhelmed against traditional. Trump will pretty much keep our society the way it is. And that's the memo. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach, measuring your metabolism through your breath. The app shows whether you're burning fat or carbs and provides tailored guidance to improve nutrition, workouts, sleep, and more. Simply breathe into the Lumen each morning to understand your metabolism. Then, based on your measurements, Lumen offers a personalized daily nutrition plan. Is this unbelievable? Now, your metabolism is your body's engine. An optimal metabolic health leads to benefits like easier weight management, better energy, improved fitness, and better sleep. Lumen's recommendations enhance metabolic health, even track your cycle and menopause onset. So, if you want to take the next step in improving your health, please go to lumen.me, M-E/Bill to get 15% off. That's LUMEN.ME/Bill for 15% off. Thanks, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Let's go to the mail. Mark Umaker, Pittsford, New York. I'm a premium member after learning about the disparaging remarks toward Puerto Rico and Latinos in general by a so-called comedian during the Trump rally. It baffles the mind how anyone on the Trump reelection campaign could have authorized this. They didn't authorize, the Trump people didn't authorize the attack on Puerto Rico. They didn't vet it at all. That's what happened. And you can't do that. You got to have people looking out for you. Bob Bermudez, San Diego, as a conservative Republican and a Puerto Rican, I have concerns about the comments at the Trump rally. Remember last week your comments, O'Reilly, about how important the Hispanic Latino vote will be in this election. Unless President Trump makes amends and extends an olive branch to more than 6 million Puerto Ricans living here, this might sabotage his election chances. I don't think it's at that level, but if I were Trump, I would definitely repudiate it. And I don't think he did that in his press conference today, but I definitely would. Just put out a social media thing saying, look, I'm sorry about that. It's not how I feel. How hard is that? But again, you got to have a staff to suggest these things. Richard Thomas, Staunton, Illinois. The reason Democrats are for an open border is to overload the system so it'll collapse and they can gain total control. There is some truth to that. The real hardcore socialists like Bernie Sanders want the capitalistic economy to collapse. That is true. Lloyd, if Kamala Harris wins, expect gas prices to rise due to her proposal to ban fracking. She's not going to ban fracking. You can't be that blatant about it. So oil prices will rise because the regulations that are strangling the harvesting of fossil fuels will still be there. She's not going to take them off. Trump will day one, he said. And he will. Howard, concierge member, I don't think Kamala has any real vision for the country that guides her decision making. She spouts a progressive line, but I don't see an underlying belief in a future society where everyone benefits from a benevolent government. She targets groups. She's an equity person. That's what she does. Does she care about you and me, Howard? No, I don't think so. Tony Pledger, Santa Maria, California. I just purchased a Team Normal and a No Spin mug. Currently have all 13 killing books. The mugs will make perfect bookends. Yeah, they will. The mugs are the great. The political mugs we have, you can buy 3 of them. Not Woke, No Spin, Team Normal. You'll love them. But even more importantly, and Tony is way ahead of the curve, all 13 killing books plus Confronting the Presidents in a bundle. These are flying out of our store. Everybody wants them. And we put them up early because we felt that might happen. And if you want them for Christmas or whatever, you order now because it's hard to put all this stuff together in our warehouse. So if you want the bundle, and it's a fabulous gift. Keith Palmer, Cornelia, Georgia. I have a medical condition that caused me unexpectedly to lose a majority of my vision for a short time. Treatment has reduced the frequency of these episodes. When they occur, they're quite devastating. And not only can I not get around, I can't even watch television or read a printed page. So as soon as it was available, I downloaded the audio version of Confronting the Presidents. It is an absolute blessing. Hey, Keith, number one, I'm sorry about your condition. And number two, I am so happy that Confronting the Presidents on audio has brought you a little bit of relief. Stay strong. It's a great letter. Okay. Halloween best book ever, Killing the Witches. Come on. I mean, it's Halloween season. If you haven't read Killing the Witches, whoa, that is what you want to do. Scare the urchins with that book. And then we're going to have a lot of not woke merchandise, gear. Okay, we got shirts, T-shirts, polo shirts, bumper stickers, all kinds of stuff for Christmas. So pre-order that. We'll have them in pretty soon. We got a very funny campaign. We want not woke everywhere in the country and all over the world, because we're on YouTube, sees this all over the world now. Get that not woke stuff. Word of the day, do not be craven. Great Halloween word, C-R-A-V-E-N. Back in a moment with the final thought. All right, listen up, because you have worked hard to protect your home and your hard-earned equity. And there's a threat out there you probably haven't even heard of: title theft. The FBI calls it house stealing. Scammers can literally transfer your home's title into their name, take out loans, drain your equity. You might not even know it's happening until it's too late. That's why you need triple lock protection from our friends at Home Title Lock. Their system gives you 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, and restoration services if you are attacked. Here's the deal. Go to HometitleLock.com. Enter the promo code BILL30, and you'll get 30 days of triple lock protection free, plus a complete scan of your home's title to make sure you are in the clear. Remember, 30 days free. Title scan included. Use promo code BILL30 at HometitleLock.com or visit the link below. By now, you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know, I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. So last night I was at Yankee Stadium for Game 4 of the World Series. Fabulous spectacle. Yankee Stadium is magnificent. It is one of America's great treasures. And the Steinbrenner family, I've known them for decades, and they are so nice to me and all that. So it's really a privilege. And I mean that word literally. Everybody, oh, it's a privilege, it's an honor. And I don't say that stuff a lot. To go to the major games at Yankee Stadium. Now, the Dodgers, LA, we don't like them so much because of the transvestite group they honored in San Francisco that besmirched Catholics. You remember all of that. You know, I know some guys on the Dodgers, and they're good guys. They have nothing to do with it. All right? I am. But the Dodgers are a methodical team. And they are disciplined, and they have swagger. And you could see it. All right? Freddie Freeman, first-round Hall of Famer. Yankees are a little intimidated. I don't know. They were tight. And it's 3-1, and they got waxed last night. So anyway, what am I going to say? The Dodgers are playing better. And this is competition. No equity here. You do or die on that field. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.